So we've got a new video. It's raining right now, so I'm not actually working on the car, which is kind of a bummer, but I went and picked up the last few pieces that I needed today to finish the rebuild. I went and got a radiator and a bash bar at a local salvage shop. So I got really lucky at finding it local because it's a ton cheaper than having all that stuff shipped. I think a new radiator was like $200 something. It was way too much money. So the radiator ended up being 55 bucks at the salvage yard, and the bash bar I think was 100. As I begin this last part of the rebuilding process, I'm gonna take my title to the BMV and put it into my name, along with getting the salvage receipt, so that way I can go ahead and plan the inspection. It takes a week or two to get in with the salvage place just because how busy they are, but with all this stuff going on right now, I'm assuming that they're a little bit more open, but who knows? I'll be able to find that out here soon. Since I started filming this, it looks like the rain did stop a little bit, so I'm gonna try and get back on that. I apologize if I don't have the best angles for being able to see me work on it, but I'll do my best. So when I'm working on cars, I pretty much always wear gloves just to protect my hands. It makes things a lot easier for cleanup when you're done. So all in all, it's a win-win if you wear them. They're cheap. I get these 14mm ones from Harbor Freight, and they barely ever rip while I'm working on them. So for the price of what it's worth to clean up and have stuck to your hands for a few days, it's just totally worth it in my opinion. Right, Jeff? Well, I guess it's a good thing I wasn't painting today. I'm going to wait for this to let up and get back to it, I guess. I almost got the radiator put in, and then it just started pouring. It's already letting up a little bit though. Catch you in a minute. Close enough for me. Let's get started. So I ran into my first issue when I was mounting these headlights. That's the regular one that came with it, mounts just fine. And the bracket is just fine on this side. However, if you go over to this side and look at it, the bracket's pretty mangled. And then the closer you look at it, the fender's a little bit dented also. So what I'm gonna have to do, I need, based on looking at the other side, it looks like it comes off flat and then kind of juts out that way. So I'm just gonna try bending it back to where it goes. Luckily it's only the headlight mount that's bent. The fender seems to be all right. I might need to work on that panel gap a little bit and just loosen the fender and push it back forward, but it looks good otherwise. All right, so I got it pretty close. It's flat. I'm gonna see if it fits now. So I've got the headlight in now, but I'm really starting to see how bad the fender is. Probably 1/4 inch gap right there. So I think the fender ended up folding like that.
You can kind of see it down in the wheel arch area where it kind of folded. So what needs to happen is the wheel arch needs to go in, so that way the whole fender starts to go in. So when I push on it, it starts to readjust to where it needs to be. So I'm gonna try and bend this back into place, see if I can't get anywhere with that. I spent some time off camera fighting with this, and I got it to a point where I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. That gap's no longer there, but got a little bit of a dent right in there. Essentially what I did, I took some pliers and bent this back in more, and then just used my body weight and pushed the fender in so that the gap was no longer there. Took probably 20 minutes of Jimmy in it. It turned out pretty good. Good enough to where I don't need a new fender at least. These headlights go for about 600 bucks new. So what I did was I went on eBay and I found one with a scratch, and it doesn't have one of the mounting brackets, and that only cost me $95 luckily. That's as bad as the scratch can get, and I'm pretty sure I can just sand that out, and then it doesn't have that lower mount. So for how cheap everything was, I'm not mad at how it turned out. I've got the whole front end put together. Next thing I need to do is top off the transmission fluid and bleed the coolant. It should be good to drive, but I'll be doing that in the next video, I think. So I'm gonna call it quits for this video. In the next one, we are gonna work on bleeding the coolant and topping off the trans fluid, along with some other miscellaneous small tasks. Then after that, we're gonna move on to paint, and then that should be the last video after that, besides driving it around for the first time. So if you like this video, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, follow along with the rest of the rebuild. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.